You guys tell me if I'm being too overdramatic.
Yes, you are.
Okay. I'm going to say
because I already heard your take. But go ahead.
Was this on last night on the challenge?
Yes, it was.
No, not.
Do you like how he recite? He never changes them.
It's not. This is not the same thing. It's a different angle to this. This is a little bit more in depth.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
The start for Caleb Williams is way worse than I expected through 2 games. And it's not just a him problem. Offensively, the Bears are atrocious. They can't protect him. They're undisciplined. They look disjointed.
Dang.
It is way worse than I thought it would be through 2 games. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Am I crazy for saying? Did you guys think it was going to look like this? Because I thought there would be. I thought there'd be signs.
I said he was going to struggle. Everybody, I won't say everybody, but there are a lot of people. Oh, this and that gushing, bruh, they're not game planning him. Once they start game planning him, you're going to see him go through the growing pains of being in the league. Peyton Manning's gone through it. Others have gone through it. People go through it. So it's just a matter of him continuing to adjust, to learn, and the offense has to do the same thing. They have to grow together. I don't think that should be any reason, and Q kind of highlighted it in the first segment. I don't think there's any reason to think that, and I cautioned people before we got this far into it, do not compare him to what C.J. Stroud did last night. The problem, and for what it's worth, he kind of brought a little bit of it on himself as well. Maybe not intentionally, but don't do interviews where you leave Patrick Mahomes out of the conversation for greatest ever, best in the game right now. Don't leave him out. Don't throw, unnecessary shade. Put the respect factor out there. Keep it quiet, keep it cool. I just think he's such a captivating personality. He's someone that is worth paying attention to. He's got an electric personality on top of the fact that he's really good at playing ball. So I think everything is going to be heightened. When you're looking at him, everything is going to be that much more of scrutiny and criticisms and all those different things. I know it wasn't good, Jonas, but I'd say give him time, Q.
It's just going to take time for this entire organization to get a team together, offensively speaking, that can actually win some football games. I mean, outside of the era with Walter Payton and Jim McMahon, when have we felt like this team was an offensive juggernaut? Ever?
Never.
Am I missing something back in the 50s, 60s?
I don't recall.
The last time they had an offense that you could depend on the pass more than you could the run.
You know what it was?
Y'all weren't alive, were y'all?
No.
Lovie
Smith, before the season, I think they were so good at throwing the football, they had to flip a coin to see which quarterback it was going to be.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a true story. I'm glad you finally brought that up. Yeah, thank you. Look, you got to go back to Eric Kramer, which is, mid-'90s when, Curtis Conway was there and all those Bobby Ingram.
Yeah.
Good players. Good players. I'm not sure I feel like they were overly reliant on it, but
because that was the best part of their offense. But since then,
wait, it wasn't. We're not saying much then. If that was the best part of their offense, The general point is I don't know that the Chicago Bears ownership knows what they do even when they have a quarterback.
Dang.
I'll just be flat out blunt. I don't know what they know what to do. They need to build up this offensive line.
Yes.
This group around him can't protect him. I think they have the pass catchers on the outside. It's the first year in the offense, though. And so everything seems clunky. It doesn't feel like Caleb Williams has a good feel for it. It doesn't feel like the guys running the routes have a good feel for what they're trying to accomplish. And that's on Shane Waldron to figure out how to get this group to maximize their potential and ability. But last night was more about the offensive line. Week 1, I thought, was more about Caleb Williams. I didn't think he was seeing the field very well. Just like Bryce Young, when I looked at how he played in college and what he was allowed to do, and then how that translates to the NFL, one of my big concerns was the way he would back out of the pocket. As he takes his drop, he stands with his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he backs out of the pocket. And the problem is that causes you then to go left or right out of the back of the pocket. Doesn't work in the NFL. Can't do it. Get away with it in college. Can't do it in the NFL. Caleb Williams has had a similar tendency to not take the first read, not take the easy one, not take the check down, not take what's there for him. And then you add pressure on top of that, you're only playing more into that, where he's going to feel the need to want to get outside the pocket and get the ball out of his hand or make a play. So they got to fix the offensive line first and foremost, but the rest of the offense is still very much a work in progress. And the problem is I do think Caleb's talented enough and special to be one of those top quarterbacks. I'm just not sure what the Bears know what to do with it. I'm not. It's like they got their deep dish pizza. Someone brings out thin crust. They're like, what the hell do we do with this? I'm just saying that's what it feels like. They're like, we've never seen this before.
It's like they complain about O-line picks in April and then complain about not having an O-line in September. Like it's like you had the opportunity in April to address this. They took Rome Odunze. Like Olu was there. Like that was an opportunity. And Ryan Poles is a former offensive lineman, and it surprises me because they take such a nickel and dime approach. They think just they can get anybody to play center. They think they can just throw anybody out there. They've got late round draft picks that are playing tackle and premium positions. And last night he just got exposed. He took way too many hits.
He took a lot of hits.
He got pounded.
It felt like he was back at USC again to a
Yes.
degree.
To a degree. Tua, by the way, would not have made it out of that game. That's how bad. There was one hit. There was one play where he went in almost the same exact way Tua went in and got hit way harder.
Yeah.
There was like 2-3 dudes, I think, that hit him at the same time. He went in head first. I was, and I, what's crazy is it made me think about it. It's like, man, like, you watch and you wonder, is somebody going to pop up that way? Like, is that going to happen? That was on my mind every single time there was like a big hit on a player, but he was getting popped, man. And that there's no doubt about it. He was getting punished so much that even the colored commentators were like, he's getting punished. Like it's bad out here for him. So I don't know if he can make it through an entire season getting hit like that and twinkle toeing it like Lee would.
But their
out there on the field, I don't know, man.
Their defense is good.
Defense is pretty good.
It's like the same. It's the same story for 40 years.
The Bears.
They keep them alive.
Build a defense. They can always build a defense, and then offensively, it's like, God, we hope they do something.
Say, was that Q or was that the recording?
The Bears.
Okay, there you go.
Listen,
he's gotten really good at that whole like move his face away from the mic thing, man.